Well, hey everyone, it's Ellen again. And as you know, I love to interview everyday people who are doing extraordinary things on the planet. And I have had the pleasure of getting to know Francis through Facebook. I really believe that Facebook is a great connection piece, and it brings people together of not only that are like-minded, but are also ones who can help grow each other and bring about transformation. So Francis, it's a real pleasure to have you here today, live from Kenya.
Wow. Yeah, okay. Thank
All
you.
right, so
Thank you.
Francis, tell me a little bit about yourself.
Okay, my name's Sikuku Francis Ouma. I'm from Kenya. I'm a male person. My job is I'm doing plumbing. I'm a gospel teacher. I'm a business person. I come from the family of 5 people.
Okay.
With 3 boys and 1 girl. Unfortunately, we were 6 in our family, but unfortunately, 1 went to be with the Lord. So our firstborn. So here in Kenya, I do also train music.
Do you?
I'm a pianist, I'm a singer, and I really love to be myself.
Yes.
That is me. And what we call self-realization have really helped me a lot.
Yes. And I've noticed that with you, just your understanding of yourself. So I want to go back a little bit, talk a little bit about your upbringing. You mentioned that, you have some, religion, obviously, in your background and stuff like that. So shed a little light on what it was like growing up for you in a religious background and what that means for you today.
Yeah. So my upbringing, when we were young, back in the village, we were brought up by our mother at most of time, because it was a time that my mother and my dad were not agreeing together. They antagonized. So we were left 4 boys before our mom get back to another girl with the same dad, with my dad. So we were brought in a very crucial manner, in a very bad way, because we could not eat, we could not do everything. Sometimes we could just eat the fruits from the bushes. We could just go and pick up the fruit from the bushes. We eat it, we go to school, we go back to school. In school, we used to, if you want to travel to go to another place, you could go and borrow your school uniform from someone in a wealthy family, so that at least you have something to cover your body so that you go to a certain place. I remember even if my elder brother wanted to do his primary examination, he borrowed a school uniform from a certain person. So with us, we were brought by our mother, but our mother tried her best, because she was not educated, and she tried her best. The best thing is that he brought up us in the word of God, but he usually tell us, don't follow what church is doing. Follow what your heart, what you want.
Great advice. Yes.
Yeah. Then she told us, don't go to church because I'm going as your mother. Go to church for your own personal benefit. And don't follow everything that we are being taught in the church. Be you always.
Yes.
That thing have really helped me a lot in my life. And from that space, now when I came up to be an adult person, I realized that whatever I was being told by my mother have really helped me to be me always, to learn to be me, myself, to understand myself. It have really helped me a lot. And that's how we were brought up. After that, we came to realize that now we need our dad back. So we came down as a family. Our mother used to tell us, be it that your dad have done whatever he have done, give him respect as your father. One day I know God will let him after he have realized himself. Yes, our dad realized himself. He came back. We welcomed him. We tried as a boys. We organized for something. Then we built for them a house. You see, but it was not just a very good house, but a little bit decent house. So we really thank God and ourselves the way we had realized ourselves first. That thing have really helped us.
Yes, yes. And I know when we've spoken before, and whether because we've talked before, together with each other, you share that there's a lot of religion within the churches within Kenya that are damaging people, that are not helping people discover their self-worth, even to understand that they are truly loved and that they're truly cared about. And we can package that under religious trauma. We could call it all sorts of different things. But why don't you share a little bit about what you have personally seen within the churches that is upsetting to you, that has hurt congregations and takes people away from self-realization?
Yeah. So when I come to what aspects of religious trauma do I see in the church? So the religious trauma that I usually see in church is this one. The first thing, the church doesn't want someone who speaks the truth. And when you have failed to speak the truth, they will kick you out of the ministry, because now you are telling them the truth. They need to do this and this and this, instead of with the church, they teach, I don't know how I tell it. Bible is like this one, but with them they teach it like this one, opposite.
Yes, I understand.
They teach the Bible opposite because they don't mean whatever is written in the Bible. Another trauma that the church faces is physical abuse.
Yes.
And for example, like me, I passed through that trauma a lot because I'm instrumentalist. I used to play drum set in big churches. I was being called in big churches, but nowadays I cut it out. Mine is just when you have invited me, I can't play drum set as somebody who have come to work as my job. I go my way. Nothing to associate with you in your church. You see?
Yes.
So that physical abuse, you'll find out that you have agreed that after I've done this, one will do this to me. You'll find pastor is telling you, no, you have to work for God. God will pay you. I tell him, there is no way I will meet God here on earth. No way I will meet God. God will tell me that you have done this job, now take this money or take this one. I myself, I have to work for it. So you'll find out that pastor is abusing you, telling you are not a staunch Christian. There is no way we can pay you playing the drum set. But in the Bible is written that my gift will open for me great doors, will make me to eat with the kings. Now, what do I mean when a pastor telling me that I cannot be given something to stipend me, yet I have a bill to pay? I have our family members who are still young. I need to help them get education. Yes. I have these videos that I'm supporting through this money that I got little, I need also to support some. Where will I get that money? If I take all my time, then they want you to go into church from Monday to Sunday.
Oh, yes, yes.
If you are renting a church, your house will be closed.
Yes.
If your house have been closed, now you will start building the trauma of suffocation in the head, in the brain.
I'm understanding. Yes, yes. Let me share a little bit. Can I share something? I was a worship leader in churches, and I did the same thing, but I wasn't married. And so because I wasn't married, they said, well, you have more time then to give yourself to the Lord and more time for you to do worship. But I never got paid for it. The amount of hours and the amount of work that I put in, whether it be children's ministry, whatever it may be, there was never any giving back to me that was also, a sustainable need or something that I need. And I feel like what that is it's using people. It's using people for their gifts. It's using people to promote the pastor. It's using the people to push the congregation further away from reality to dependency on the church, but the church isn't helping at all. So there's kind of like this flipping back and forth that I see happen. And I'm really sorry. I just want to say that I'm sorry that I see that has happened in your life. And I'm glad that you put an end to it, that you said no, that you put a boundary and said, wait, I am worth more. My gifts don't just open the door of opportunity, but my gifts do come with a price. They do, and they should.
Very true. Another trauma that I see church make people to pass through is telling people not to take drugs whenever you are sick. That one
Yes, talk about that.
Even here in Kenya.
Yes.
Someone is suffering from HIV and AIDS, which he need to take the, how do we call them, the IRVs.
Yes.
Him boost the body immunity to help improve the CD4 of this person. So you will find the church is advising him or her that go and pray, your disease will be healed. Where? Where? God will only heal this person if he have used this drug truly in a well way, the body has gained itself. Now that time is when now God will come say, now, truly you have used this drug in a right way, your body have gained whatever it wanted. Now it's time for you to heal up and leave these drugs because now your body have gained. But
Yes.
if you are seriously sick, someone is telling you to leave the drugs or don't go to hospital. Some of them even say that don't go to hospital.
Yes. Yes.
When you are sick, how will you get healed? Because I know God helps someone who can help himself. Are you getting?
Oh, I'm understanding
There
you.
are some
Yes.
people that God can heal, but there are situations that you have to connect with that man that God created as a doctor here in earth. God was not a fool to make someone to be a doctor, to make someone to be a teacher, to make someone to be a businessman, because he knows we are all disabled. Disability is not that I'm not seeing or I'm not hearing or I have a limp, I don't have hand. Disability is that there is something that you can do that I cannot do.
Yes.
You see?
Yes.
So that is my disability. That thing that I cannot do and you can do it is my disability.
Yes, I understand. Yes.
Are you getting me?
I am.
So you find also another trauma that the church make people to face through is a starvation. Even here, if you follow the news of Kenya, recently there was a pastor who was telling people to go and fast for 40 days and 40 nights for them to see God. They do it as Jesus did it. Do you think a human being can do as Jesus, the way Jesus did it?
Well, I think if you're forcing someone to go do 40 days and they're not ready for it, yeah, I think you're creating a problem then.
Until we had almost 350 people who died because of starvation.
Yeah.
Because of starvation. Are you getting me?
Yeah.
Just because someone have pumped in his head that for him to see Jesus or for him to see God, he have to fast the way Jesus fasted.
Yes.
Are you getting me? But Jesus told us, if you don't have that capability, you can't be like me. So we human beings, we try, but we cannot be like Jesus or we cannot be like God. We can just try to be a little bit example, because he told us we are co-creators, but he didn't tell us that we are the real creators. Are you getting me?
I'm understanding.
Pastor is treating people to fast, do whatever, and yet he's telling you with him is going. I remember very well the church that I served last. Our pastor is telling us to fast. Then when I went to a certain hotel, I was doing with a company at that time of cleaning. I met my pastor eating. I told him,
waiting for that. I knew you were going to say that. I knew it.
What did you tell us in the church?
Yes.
I told him, now you have to buy for me a tea. I also eat the way you are eating, because I find out that you are cheating us. You are not teaching us the right thing.
Yes.
From that day, that pastor told me, from this day, never step on my church. I told him, the church is my heart. That is just a house. The church is me. It's not that building. Yes. If I cannot control myself, if I cannot realize myself, then I told you that I'm coming to your church. That is not the church. It's just a place where we can meet and encourage each other. Yes. But the church is my heart.
Yes. Yes.
That pastor really told me that you are a fool. And you see, so such like things are abuse.
Yes, yes. And I want to highlight something. You mentioned something about not allowed to take drugs and things like that. And what I found happen when I was in the faith movement, there was this belief that you just trust God, you keep doing this, and you'll be healed and you'll be fine and everything will go smoothly. And I watched people get sick too who were not taking it. And then when people would take medicine, they then felt this shame. Oh,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
feel ashamed. I wasn't trusting God. I turned to the medicine. And I guess I just want to highlight that too, that these abuses, these things that you're talking about, create an
Yeah.
internal shame and a distrust and a self-hatred inside of a person when they are inflicted upon them by those in authority.
Yeah. And for me, just to clarify on that point, if truly people can be healed, all of them with the word of God, why is it there is a need of hospital?
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yes.
What is the need of hospital? Then this
Yes.
pastor will tell us, go and close that hospital for people just to pray for themselves.
Right.
Yeah. What is the need of the hospital then?
I don't
What is
know, Francis. Like,
the...
oh my gosh.
With me, I don't. Sometimes I really look at people who say that they are Christians, but they don't mean whatever they are saying. They are just like fools. Another thing, trauma that people face before we go to another chapter is antagonizing with your family.
Oh, yes.
Antagonize you with your family. More so if your father is taking drug or is drinking alcohol, they will tell you, go and tell your father to stop it. No way you can do that until you sit down with your father, talk to your father, tell your father, Father, I've seen this and this and this have brought problem, this and this have brought problem to so and so. So if you can take your own decision and start limiting how you take alcohol slow by slow, then your father can hear you and take that step. He will see the outcome. Then he will tell you, truly, my son, whatever you told me is right. But there is no way I will just reach with the Bible. I read the Bible. I told my father that now the Bible say, if you are doing this, you are taking alcohol, you are doing sin. Do you think your father will hear you? He won't. He won't.
No.
He will take you as a fool. He
Yeah.
won't. So the thing that the church is failing to tell people, before you approach even someone to change his life, is you yourself, have you changed?
Mm.
Yeah, first of all, you have to make sure that before you are going to change someone, you first, you have been a change. You are a change before you change someone. So we need to tell people the reality of the world, that this world should be like this, like this, like this. And God was not a fool to make sure to make us a co-creator and create a hospital. If it's like that, most of people, right now, we could not have even people. I know most of people who have been saved with the hospital, through the treatment of the hospital. Ask yourself now, Ellen, someone have got an accident, then you go and surround him. We pray for healing. Will it happen?
Well, I've done this before. And
It
so
had,
let me tell you what's happened. I've done
yeah,
it before. And
yeah,
in some cases, there has been improvement, but
yeah,
they still need to go to the hospital. There's
yeah.
nothing wrong. It's not a lack of faith to
Mm,
receive help from the
yeah,
hospital or a human doctor.
very true. And another thing is that when someone have got an accident, know that this person have lose a lot of blood in the body. Now he will need to be added more blood to sustain his life.
Right.
If it's so, God could not created human being to have blood in their body or animal to have blood in their body. God was not a fool. He
Right.
knew the importance of blood in the body.
Yes.
Another thing is about business.
Yes.
Church can traumatize person who is in a business. They will tell you that for your business to grow, for your business to receive more profits, you need to be tithing. If you are making 50,000, if you are making 50,000, make sure that 10% of that 50,000 goes to the church,
Yes.
which is not bad. This 10,000 you are taking to that church, what are they doing with that 10,000 to
That's
improve
the
a
question.
person who is not earning that 10,000? Are you getting
Yes.
me? Yeah. So you will find, after all, you will be giving 10,000, 10,000. Ask yourself for 3 years or 4 years, how much amount have you given the church? How much amount have you given the pastor? Yet in this church, you still find there's a lack of someone who is being sent away of school because of lack of school fee. There is someone who is in this church who is his house is being closed because of house rent. There is someone who is going to starve because of lack of food. And yet, you know, God said that bring into my church, which is me, church, which is me. When I have plenty, I cannot stay with it. I have to share with the people to see that generosity in me.
Yes.
And it's not just doing it for people to see generosity. I'm doing it according to my heart.
Yes.
So some people have lost their business because of churches.
Yeah.
Some people, pastors cheat them and tell them, God have told me that you sell that your plot, you sell that your apartment, you bring it to the church.
Yeah.
For you for what to do for you. After selling it, you will find out that you've sold it. Maybe you went ahead and take a loan. The loan people will come for you. They will not go to the pastor.
Right.
They will come for you. You are the one who took a loan and you fail now to pay it. There is nowhere you will see pastor coming to pray, telling you, let us pray for these loan people to hear you. Loan people will not hear you. They will need their money according to your agreement that you did.
Right.
You see, that one will now bring traumatization. From that one, if you had a wife who didn't realize and know that truly I've come in this marriage to stay with this person, she will go. Your family will break because now you will lack money to sustain you. You will lack whatever to sustain you. The wife will not stay there with starvation. The wife will not stay there with antagonization because of the church which have brought this thing.
Right. I know. I know. Yeah, I saw that when I worked in Africa. I did. I saw the exploitation of money and finances. It was like people were giving more and more and more church, money, more of the pastors, the money, more of this, because they were expecting this return that would then come to them, and it didn't come. What ended up happening was they were being depleted. They were starving, they were going without and lacking, while the pastor and other leaders were living in high off the hog and in prosperity. And there's nothing right about that whatsoever. So let me ask you a question. I'm going to move on to the next question here that we have, but with all that we're talking about, what are some solutions, Francis, honestly, that we feel, or that you feel you could bring, not just to the Kenyan church, but this is everywhere, okay? It's all over. Greed, pride, arrogance, patriarchy, the whole thing's everywhere. What are some solutions you think that needs to happen for church leaders?
The first solution that I have is, let someone who calls himself a preacher or a gospel teacher, let him call a spade, not a big spoon. Are you getting me?
Yep.
Let's not take a spade, we call it a big spoon. If it's a spade, call it a spade.
Yeah.
Tell someone in a church that, yes, you are my follower. You follow whatever I teach. Make sure you do the right thing in life. The solution, let the church teach people what we call personal relationship. Let people teach people honesty. Let them tell people the right thing to do. For a church, like for example, you need to start a business. Let that pastor tell you, go and look for a job, have this amount. After that, go and set your business. Then do whatever we call a consistency in whatever you are doing for you to succeed. It's not a matter of that you have to bring tithe for you to succeed. And another solution that the church needs to have, people who are going to church, they are the solutions by themselves, not even the church.
Yeah.
Called self-realization. You are someone. You are someone who have gone to church. Have you realized yourself, or are you being used?
Yeah.
That is the first solution. Because we can find the solution, we can place them. But if those solutions, I myself, or that person himself, or the other person himself, have not realized himself, nothing we can do. So it's upon us, people who have realized ourselves, we help the other people who are still in the church trauma. Yeah. We tell them the truth, that this is the way. If you cannot try this way that I've told you, you will see the result.
Yeah.
Like with me, I have almost 25 people whom I've helped. there was someone who always was a girl, was singing in a church. Pastor wanted to use him. Yet pastor have his wife. Are you seeing such like thing? Pastor have his wife. He want to use this lady. After using this lady, he will dump this lady. He will not marry her because the church is telling him you cannot marry the second wife.
Mm-hmm.
Are you getting me?
Mm-hmm.
So he will use this person. So it's just the matter of the church to speak the truth. That is the first solution.
Yeah.
And to make people get out of that traumatization that I have to pray for my life to change. Prayer is not bad. Prayer is good. But the first thing, do whatever is right in this world.
Yeah.
Ellen, for you to succeed in this world, you have to have good relationship with the people. You cannot have money, but the relationship that you have from people can change your life.
Mm.
The good relationship, you can just find someone have called you because of how you have been conducting yourself with him. That brother, there is a certain job which is needed here. We need a tender to give someone, but we refer you because we know you and we know your conduct. Come and take this one.
Yes.
You getting me?
Yes.
The first is relationship. Second one is honesty. If I can tell someone that I'm saved, that I'm a Christian, that I'm a preacher, and I'm not honest by myself, very wrong. That is the second solution. Another solution, have something at hand before going to God and ask for blessing. As someone who is saying that you are going to church, what do you have that you are doing for God to intervene in that job? If you are a carpenter, start by buying a jack plane, buy 2 wood pieces, start making something small that people will see that you are doing this thing. They will come and buy. After buying it, these people will tell you now, we need this one, we need this one. Someone will give you money, tell you, go and get the stock, make for me this thing, make for me this thing, I come and buy. From that point, God will connect you because of the relationship that you have with the people. You will grow, but it's not tithe.
Yeah.
That one I have to tell the truth. It's not tithe.
Yes.
Those are the solutions I think those are. But the first solution that people must have is self-realization.
Yes, and that brings us to the next question. That brings us to this next question, which is, what is self-realization for people?
Yeah.
What is it?
So self-realization with me is the fulfillment of one's own potential or possibility of one character or personnel. Is possibility. Self-realization is my possibility.
Yes.
Yes, I as Francis, what can I do at my best? Not that what can Helen do with me, but what can I do, I personally? Are you getting me?
Mm-hmm.
Which kind of boundaries do I put by myself?
Yes.
Are you getting me?
Yes.
What things have I passed through that have made me to come to be me now?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Are you getting me? Then another thing is we call it consists of also realizing on the self as the soul.
Yes, come on.
Self as the soul.
Yes.
This self, it contains the soul in it.
Yeah.
Which for that soul is what give me whatever I have to do physically now. That is what we call self-realization. Things that come from unto your heart, you do them, they make you happy. That is what we call self-realization.
Yes, yes.
The things
And it's not somebody else telling you how you're to do. It's you knowing innately on the inside who you are. You're loving yourself, and therefore you are then doing life based around your own understanding of you, not somebody else's understanding of you, not somebody else's perspective of Francis. It is your perspective of you connected with the divine. You're all one and the same. And then you are living your life accordingly. And that, to me, Francis, is what makes a person very honest. You become very honest. You're not bypassing yourself because of somebody else's opinion or command or demand of you. You are loving yourself, knowing yourself, and that creates authenticity, that creates honesty, and that creates an intimacy with that soul part of you.
Yeah. So the self-realization is when, with me, I take it as a, because when I've been passing whatever I've been passing back at the back, it means that I didn't realize myself.
Yes, come on. Yes.
That's the reason why I've been passing through those traumas. Are you getting me? So when it comes to a point that I've known truly I've been used, I've been traumatized, my brain have been shaken like a water in a bottle, like this one. So my brain have lost its stability. Now, when I've come to realize that now it is me, Francis, that I have to love myself. This myself is whatever the prayerful things have to come out, not from someone. It's me that I have to connect with God, that I know, not someone to connect me with God.
Right.
Are you getting me? Not someone to connect me with God. Not someone to tell me that you need to do this, you need to do this. Before I do that, I have to come on my own meeting, my own personal meeting. I ask myself, yes, he have told me, what can I do by myself to change? Whatever my heart will tell you. And the heart never lie. Your heart never lie. And that thing, when I just go back to a certain thing that we call trauma in a church will tell you that when you have personal feeling, that is a sin. Did you pass such like things? They tell you that now if your heart feels like, no, that one is a sin, that one is a sin, brother. So they will tell you a lot of things which are not very right. Yeah.
Right. So let me ask you a question. We're going to move to the next question. So from what it sounds like to me, self-realization is very empowering. It causes you to take charge of your life. It helps you to recognize when you're being abused and used. It helps you put boundaries around about you. It helps you basically live authentically as the God-given person you are today. So how do we empower? How do we empower humanity, for one, but how do we empower people that you're in contact with, or people you know, even in the Kenyan church or the church universal, into self-realization?
So my first point that I noted here is what we call prioritizing identified issues. Prioritizing identified issues. If you have identified that someone had a trauma and lose his business because of church, go and tell this person the right thing, that we what we call business conditions and business principles. Tell him these are the principles that you have to follow for your business to succeed. That one will help him. Another one is through helping them to know their rights.
Yes, come on. Yes.
Helping them to know their rights. If someone have known that my right is this one and this one and this one, and you have made the conferences, education, by putting meetings, because you have realized yourself, now you need a group of people, large people, also to have that self-realization, is when we have that unified world. Are you getting me? So creating the conferences, creating the education through the Facebook like we are doing, I know we are helping maybe someone who have been passing such like things through this Zoom meeting. Are you getting it? Another thing is that we have through what we call vacation and missions. Vacations and missions and spiritual. You personally, your spirit. That one will help a lot. Missions, like we have a mission, maybe we have planned with you are coming from your place, you are coming to Kenya. Just to make someone realize himself. Because I know there is a certain word that you might speak that I may not speak, that will come out as a result to help someone to get out of a certain trauma.
Yes.
Are you getting me?
Yes.
There is something that you can just tell someone and change his whole life and will come to thank you later.
Yeah.
Are you getting me?
Yeah.
Then another thing is that through investing in physiological and emotional empowerment, physiological and emotional empowerment. Let's tell someone that when someone have done you wrong, you need to say it right, not going intertwining way. Tell him, brother, sister, you've done this, which is not very right. I have this as my boundary and I cannot allow this in my life.
Yes.
Are you getting me? That we help them to know their boundaries. Personal boundaries. It will help. Because there are some things that you might allow in yourself and come again to traumatize yourself without you knowing in a certain period of years on time. Are you getting me? Another thing that I have for the ways, economic empowerment. Economic empowerment. And also, economic empowerment is also important. This world, you cannot stay without something that you do that will sustain you. Because this world, we need money to buy things. We need a house to stay in. We need clothes to wear. These clothes, God, there is no way God will take them from heaven and descend them on earth to you to wear. There is no day that you will just wake up, you find your drawer of clothes have full clothes like this. Or you find your fridge is full with the food like this from nowhere. Are you getting me? So it's upon someone to know that, yes, for me to make our economy to change, or for me to make my own wealth or on things in the family to change, I have to work hard. And I have to empower someone. If he's have a skill of carpentry, I have to bring people who have prospered in that carpentry to come and give them inductions on what have they done to make them reach a certain level that they have reached. Are you getting me? If it's someone who have done business so well, we have different types of businesses. We come with those people who have prospered in that business. We tell them, give these people a light up on what have you done to reach a certain place. Are you getting it? That is what we call economic empowerment. Then another thing, how to handle your money.
Oh, yes, 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 yes.
How to handle your money. Yes, you will have that money, but if you don't know how to handle it, how to use it well, you will still be poor.
Yeah.
Are you getting me? So such like things are the real matters. Then another thing is health matters. Financial matters I've talked to onto it. Health matters. Let's tell people that you personally, this body, if you cannot take care of it, it will decay. You will die. So it's upon you personally to know that this is my health. I need to take care of my health. I need to take care of my teeth. I need to take care of my eye, the whole body. That is in matter of health issues. Yes. Because you find some people suffer because they don't know whatever is eating them. But if we can have doctors who are well known in certain areas, we organize the conference, we bring them, help people realize, yes, like in Africa, we have a lot of problems. And that's the reason why I'm planning to do a big thing to help people, because some people you will find that they are suffering of the cervical cancer, which you will find that it's just a problem that they brought from them by their own. Someone will find that he has something that he has been just feeling, but it's just ignoring. He have never gone to doctor to take what we call measure-ups and to take full body screening to know this my body, this part have a certain problem. It have to be taken this way, this way, this way for me to stay healthy.
Yes.
Are you getting that? Yeah. Then another thing is about education.
Yeah.
For me to empower someone, he must be educated. There is no way I will go to village, start talking with them in English, and yet they can just speak the language that they know. their language that they were born with. Like, for example, in Kenya, we have 48 tribes. Each tribe speaks their own language. So I have to look someone who know the language that they will understand. So I will speak, he translate to them, that thing get inside their head. They might not just know English, but according to someone who can translate for them to understand, this thing will help them.
Mm-hmm.
Through educating them that you need to do this, you need to do this, you need to do this for you to succeed.
Yes.
Then another one, through identifying issues of interest to concern the community. For example, you have found your community, the problem that they have is water. Look on which ways can you make a borehole that can serve a community of 100 people.
Mm-hmm.
Connect now with the government people. Tell them, we have tried our best as community. We have dug our own big borehole. So you as the government, we want you to help us connect this water to each doorpost for people not to struggle. After that, as a government, you will look, now we have dug this one. I know government will have to tax for whatever they have done. So we'll tell the community, maybe someone can just pay 50 bob after a month, but he's having the water in his own doorpost. He's not walking 10 kilometers, 20 kilometers to go and fetch water.
Yeah.
Those are the things that I have with the community.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you so much for just what you're sharing, because I believe that it's practical advice for people.
Yeah.
You know, like when I remember, just I did missionary work for a long time. I did humanitarian work for a while, and we went into different places and we were helping people. And I have no problem telling people, you can pray about something or whatever, if that makes them feel better. But there is something about putting your practicality to it, putting your hands to the work itself, putting your hands at helping someone, teaching someone, giving them resources that actually will help them. Telling people to just pray and trust or lean on the pastor or do this over here takes away responsibility off the person. It takes responsibility off of them to change, to say, I need to eat better. I need to have better relationships, not ones that drag me down. I need to have boundaries. I need to not be investing in certain places and spaces that are going to give me no return. It's waking people up. And this is what I love what you're sharing. It's waking people up
Very true.
Practical things that are doable. See, these are doable. It's a choice, right? It's a choice to empower yourself. It's a choice to stop trusting, the hands of the pastor to do everything. It's a choice to take your life into your own hands and say, you know what, this is non-negotiable. I'm no longer going to give myself away. I'm not going to continue to betray myself. This is what you're teaching. You're teaching, don't betray yourself.
Very true.
Learn who you are. You can do practical things, which then brings me to what you're doing, actually. And I think this is why I like this, Francis, because we're segueing really well here. Because you're one who empowers. You empower the community around you, and you don't just do it with your mouth. You actually put your hands to it. You actually put your feet in it. You sit in the dirt with people. Okay, a lot of people don't sit in the dirt with people. You love people. So tell me a little bit about this project that you're doing with widows and what that looks like. And before you tell me what it's all about, what caused you to want to do it in the first place?
Yeah, so what caused me to do this thing is that I was a victim. When we were staying with our mother, we were staying in a grass-thatched house. When it's raining, you will go and step in a corner where we have a shelter now, because the other part is leaking. The other part of the house is leaking. So when it's at night or maybe during the day, more so the rainfall here was coming during the night. We have relief rainfall and conventional rainfall. So the relief rainfall usually come at night. Yeah, here in Kenya. So you will find that we will stay in a certain corner with our beddings, carrying them like this, because you don't want the rain to leak on them. You will stay in a side of the house because the other sides are leaking. When it's drought season and someone have lit fire from a far end, that fire can be fire, we call them, how do we call them? The fire mingles can be carried away by the wind, will
Yes.
come land on your grass touch house. Maybe you have gone somewhere just to look for a bread for that day. You will come home, you find that your house have been burnt totally.
Yeah.
This house, they are not good in conditions, personal conditions life. They will bring what we call pneumonia because of the cold. Even me still today, I suffer because of my left part. I usually hear when it's itching me. So when I went to the doctor, he told me this is the effect was brought by the cold that you are in when you are young, but it will with a point it will come to get out. So I find myself that if this I pass this thing before I build to my mom the house, it is not decent, but now it have iron sheets. But what of that widow now who doesn't have a husband? Even he doesn't have someone to help to support him. He's here, his house is leaking. Maybe he have some orphans who are in school. And remember, these houses are not good for studying. Because you will start studying at night, rainfall is coming. You will find that you will have to carry your books on your back. Are you getting me? These widows, maybe they have harvested the thing that they are doing, that small scale farming. They cannot store it in the house. They will have to look a certain place. Even if it is the house, they will have to look other ways on which how to cover their farm products. Because you cannot leave your maize to be leaked, water to leak on your maize that you have dried up. It will force you again tomorrow to again get them out, dry them up, again return them back to the store. Now it will be that you are doing double work. So I decided back in 2016, I started with one widow. I built for her a house of 10 iron sheets. At that time, I was still here in Nairobi doing my musical, so the small that I could have, I could pay in the hardware where we sell the iron sheet until it reached 10. After that, that widow had some trees at home. So I went and mobilized the community, tell the community that we need to help this widow. Because I don't have much, but I have now the 10 iron sheets. Let us make for her a decent house. At least he can stay in that house without rainfall leaking on it. Yeah. So I've been doing that step by step. So far, I have like 10 widows. Unfortunately, the time that I was doing, I didn't have a very good phone that you can take the photos, you can take the pictures. At that time, we were using this phone. Can you see? This one, yes. You cannot take the photo with it. You cannot send a picture with it. So it forced me also to now go again, start saving to buy a phone like this one. After I've come now to Nairobi town, is where I'm based right now. But most of weekends, I usually go back to the village to look at the projects that I'm doing with them. Even right now, we have the maize that we've planted with them. After harvesting, each one will be given the right portion of her so that I avoid that someone lack even something. Because here in Kenya, our potential food is called ugali food. It's a maize flour which have been grinded. So you'll prepare something with maybe a vegetable or meat or whatever that you have to eat. So when someone have that maize, he's at a little bit far, a little bit somewhere that he cannot starve. Are you getting me?
Yes. Yes.
So right now I have 3 widows who are in my process. And with them, I need to do a decent house, a very good, decent house, because of the last time that I had a one, I hope I sent them to you.
You did.
I had one, we did it in a very good way. So I need even the other one that I did, which is small, we can change those ones to a decent one. Yes. So, but I cannot do it because I don't have that much money. But if I can have those people who can support, and with me, whatever we will do, everything shall be step by step through video calls, through whatever. If we went to the hardware, we buy, video call is there with the receipt, everything. Because it said, if I cannot be honest by myself, I will not even be honest with those people that I want to do something for them. But with me, I see a lack in my community that I myself, if I cannot change, and other people also see the change that I do, they can also chip in and say that, brother, you have something good. We can also hold our hands together. You getting me?
Yes.
So if we can do such like things, we can change the lives of these widows.
Yes, yes. And I really love your vision. Again, it's practical, it's sustainable.
Yeah.
And it has the potential to actually grow, Francis, to be honest. You have this potential. So do you have a team that works with you, or how does the building go? Do you have a team?
Yeah, the building, how I do, after I have gotten the money, I have a team which helped me in the construction.
Okay.
I have a team which helped me in the transport sector. But now you will not take someone's car, you're going to do transportation without putting the fuel.
Yes.
Are you getting this? Because that car is someone's business. So you have to agree with him. Yes, you usually support me, but at least take this amount because it's something that we are doing as a charity. So if he will accept and tell me, brother, because of you and whatever you are doing, just give me this amount. I help you to transport the iron sheet, the timbers, whatever is needed. Then with the other boys that are usually boys that usually help us in cementing, whatever, I have one of the contractor. And the house that we are building have to be approved by the Kenyan construction. We call them the Construction and Buildings Authority.
Yes.
NCA, yeah, National Construction and Building Authority. So I have to consult with them. He will come with the team. We agree on the price that he want to take for him to build that house because that is his job. So I cannot take him and come and do this thing for free.
Right.
Yes, he will do it, but he will not charge me the way he will charge the other person who is not a widow because of whatever relationship that I have with that person. He usually tell me, brother, you have a very good vision. And with me, if this house cost this much to build, for me to build for you this house, it will cost me this much. He usually reduce it by 20%.
Right.
Are you getting?
Yeah.
So that is something that I told you at first. What we call relationship with people is the best thing.
Absolutely, absolutely. Because when you connect with the heart of the person, the vision then gets fulfilled, but it gets fulfilled with integrity and honor and character behind you. So I know that we're, almost running out of time here. So Francis, I just want to ask you if there's any closing words that you would want to say to those who will be watching this when I begin to put it up on live. So yeah, any closing words you have?
Yeah, the closing remark that I have for people that those who will watch this video, please take something that we have spoken, which will help you in your life. Another thing, have what we call self-realization.
Yeah.
Another thing, have love, humility, be humble. Love, humility, be humble, and be honest with yourself. And if you have something, it's not a matter of that you have to have millions in the bank for you to support someone.
Right.
The little that you have, you can chip in wherever you can to change someone's life. And Mwaso, I usually tell people that with me, my heart goes directly to widows, orphans, and disabled, and those people who have talent, but they don't have platform to showcase their talent. We can create that for those people and for them to change and also see their great visions. If I have realized myself and I've changed my life, I also need to change other people's life for us to stay in what we call love. Yes. And that's the reason why even in the Bible, people don't know the reason why love. If you love someone, you cannot leave him to suffer. If you love someone, you cannot leave him to pass through some difficult traumas. Because the reason, if I myself, I cannot allow myself to be sick, I cannot allow myself to starve without food. That is how I need to carry it to another person.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I believe what you're saying here is very strong about the love message, because right now there's a lot of platforms and places and spiritualities and ministries all talking about love. But when love is only relegated to what you're comfortable with, or love is only relegated to a certain person over here, and that's not love. I believe love can be very sweeping in its demonstration, and you don't have to necessarily know the person specifically. I am going to be doing, like I said, a fundraiser for you regarding this orphan work, and it is my hope that people will hear your heart, see the character, see the integrity, the honesty, your ability to be vulnerable here in this moment, and that people will give what they can give. Because I believe that if you can bring everybody together and you can, for a good cause, for a meaningful cause, a cause that actually affects the generations. See, helping widows or orphans, which I did too, when I was working humanitarianly, that affects the generations. That's a generational love. That's a generational giving. That's a generational healing, a helping that helps people generationally.
And this thing, I just want to close it with it. It's not that helping a widow doesn't mean that I will put him in a box for him to see, or for her to see that he's a widow. I need to show him the way and tell him, get out of that box of you seeing yourself as a widow. Get out of that box of you seeing as a disabled person. So to the help that I will tell him, and the process that he will go and change, see that his life have changed. He will also go to other people who are seeing themselves disabled, they just need help. He will tell them, a certain brother helped me to do this and do this. He will also help a disabled that he sees that he cannot do anything and do something. Are you getting me? So that we get them out of this box, I'm disabled, I'm whatever. There are who are permanently disabled that they cannot do anything. That one is understandable. But someone who just have left hand, which is not there, but the other hand, the legs, can do something. We can say something and do something for him to change his life. He can also employ other people and change other people's life.
Correct.
Correct. And the thing that I'm doing here in Kenya, because government, usually for government to allow you to start an organization, they have to see what have you been doing. Right. And now it's been 4 years. I have a friend of mine who is working with the registrar, social societies. He told me, brother, I'll be helping you to post your videos that you have been doing. Yes. So that the government, so recently they called me and they told me now they are ready to make me to start my process of registering organization. And right now I'm in the process, and together I have found my brothers, my sisters, my friends whom we will work together with. And mark you, one of the official is a total orphan.
Yes.
And the reason I put him there with a reason, because he's an orphan, he will also understand the heart of a certain orphan also. Are you getting me? Yes. So the government have been putting me into a limit that I cannot do a big thing. For me to do a big thing, I will now have to have a certificate. That's the reason why you saw I placed 3 windows only. Right. After doing this, they told me, this your last project is what will help you now to have this thing in a big way.
Exactly. Exactly.
So that will really help me if I found those people who genuinely understand me according to what I have spoken. I will appreciate those people who will support, and we will again come here and thank them with everything that I will be coordinating with you. You will send to those people who have supported us. The day that we'll have our certificate, I will also come with all officials, and launching day, I will put it on the Zoom and invite every friend who have been supporting to see the step that we have made.
Well, I look forward to that day, Francis. I look forward to that day. I look forward to getting on a plane and coming to Kenya, actually, to see what it is that you're doing. I would love to do that.
I also am eager to invite a lot of people just to come and see whatever, because the life that I passed through was a very painful life.
Yes.
If I remember, I went to school barefooted. And in this generation, you tell someone to go in school barefooted, that kid cannot even go to school. He will be having a trauma in his head. Some people are wearing shoes, but with me, I'm walking barefooted. he cannot even learn.
Right.
And I also have a program back in the village that I want to start. There are some kids who are still affected by jiggers. Do you know jiggers? In their
Yes.
they have eaten their feet because
Yep.
of the thatched grass houses that I was telling you. They are prone to those pests, or we call how do we call them? There
You're
is a
okay
certain
with the words you use. No, you're fine. You're fine.
yeah. So these things affect the leg, affect the toes. You see,
Yes,
some even they come and eat someone like here.
I know.
I hope when you remember in our colonization time, the things that were affecting the people who are building the railway line for us here in Africa, they were affected by the jiggers. So
Yes,
those jiggers will find it will make someone's heads cannot be like this that you are seeing mine. They will
yes,
stay like this always. So he cannot even put his hand on something to eat. You
I
see,
know.
these
I
things
know.
drain life from them. So
Yeah.
such like things are the things that I want to help the community with, to
Well,
make sure that I
Francis,
change people's life.
that sounds amazing, Francis. And unfortunately, I'm out of time here, and I'm going to have to end this. But I want to say
Yeah.
thank you for just coming
Yeah.
on, for sharing of your heart, for being real, for being honest, for being vulnerable. I know
Yeah.
we're going to be in touch over the next couple weeks about some things, and putting just a fundraiser together to help you, have some funds to do that. Because when we just give a little step up to help, it's amazing the
Yeah.
ripple effects that can really happen. And I
Very
just want to say thank you for your integrity and
Yeah.
for your honor. So, all right, everybody,
Very,
I'm going to
very
be taking a moment, and I just want you guys to think and about what you heard and what you saw with Francis,
Yeah.
and the work that he's doing, the incredible work, the generational work that he's doing, and
Yeah.
with his character and integrity. And maybe as this fundraiser comes up, I would like you all just to
Yeah.
just think within your own selves as well, what it is that you can give so that we can help the widows not just come, and have a place to stay, but to come out of the mindsets and the
Yeah.
victim mindsets and the things that have kept them in the place that they are. Because this is the real vision that Francis is sharing, is not just to provide practical help, but to change the very shape
Very
and the landscape of one's mindset so that they can move completely out of where it is that they have been in. So Francis,
Yeah.
thank you so much for being here, and we
Thank
will talk again for sure.